Hello and welcome. What I'm doing really quick is I got a fabulous question about how to set up your ETFs or your top 100 list inside of the Thinkorswim platform. So you've got directions on the back of your page, but you'll also be getting a copy of this Word file. And there's a few ways to do it. So if, for example, you're never going to trade fixed income ETFs, for example, here, then you may not necessarily want to put it on your list. It may require a little bit more work in order to avoid it because you'll be putting on the rest of the symbols, but that's okay too. So here's what we can do. The first thing I'm going to show you is very simply how to take this Word file and take the entire list of the top ETFs and cut and paste or copy and paste it right into Thinkorswim so you don't have to enter each one of these symbols because that would take a really long time and a lot of work. Again, I do want to note you're going to have to do this in your paper account or your paper money and perhaps your real one because remember they're not really linked. One is pretend account and one is for real account. So keep that in mind. So here's what to do. Let's say we want to take the entire list. So we're going to come and just left click and highlight on the entire list. Right click then and hit the copy button so that we've got them all copied. And then we're going to go inside of our paper account in this example and come over to wherever it's got watch list, wherever there is a list here, and click on this little sprocket. And we're going to select create watch list. And we're going to title it the top 100 ETFs. Or you can call it win-win class. Whatever it is you'd like to cover is okay. Once you've got it named, then you're going to go down here to the word import, and it'll say paste from clipboard. And because we just copied that, it's going to boom, all of a sudden populate it with our 121 symbols. We click OK, and now boom, all of a sudden they are there. We're going to hit the save button, and I've already got it named that. So hang on a second. Let me put WWI for Win-Win Investing Top 100 ETFs. Hit save. I could have replaced that old list. I think it was a sample. But there it is. Now it appears. And as long as you've got it linked to your chart, so you have the same numbers next to it, now I can start at the top and very, very quickly go through, as you can see, and see if anything's changed, anything has triggered on my charts. Okay, so very simple, easy way to do it. Again, another method what you can do is if you want to keep them categorized and labeled and you want to have different lists, in other words, you want to have 6 different lists, you could go in and just highlight the broad market and call it broad market ETFs by capitalization and put these 3. You could put your fixed income together. You could mix and match. You could do broad market, capitalization, skip the fixed income, and then go back and add international and sector and keep adding to this. But if you just want easy, simple, you do the entire list, you have them there at your fingertips, and unless you reorder them, they will stay in this order. So your broad market would be first, followed by your capitalization, your fixed income, your international, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that helps or answers that question on how to do it. The directions are written here. Again, you can name it whatever you want, save it, and then just make sure you do it in your paper account, and then once you're trading in your live account, you need to copy and paste and import it in there too. We had one last question, which was a great question too, and that was just to clarify that once you go in and edit your studies, and in this case you can see I've got win-win pulled up right now, that you'll find your saved study sets underneath load them. So you can see win-win, win-win with volume, win-win with the RSI. If I added that one, that one's in there. So again, you may have to set up your charts 2 times, one in paper, one in your real accounts. But once you've done that, it's set. So if you want to switch back and forth, right now you know one recipe, but if you learn another one, this is an example of a platinum, then you would just easily switch and look at that symbol using a different recipe. But for right now, there's win-win. And the only difference on this one is I've made these lines, in case you wondered, they're really bold because sometimes folks have really small screens and it's hard to see. So when we were underneath the studies and editing the studies, when we got to them, we made the width really wide. So we changed it from a 1 to a 3, and you can see it makes it a little bit bolder. And if it depends on the type of screen or the size of the screen you're dealing with, it might make it easier for you to see when things cross over or they're about to touch. To me, it makes it a little bit harder when I look over here on the right to see that this one kind of touched and didn't cross. But you can always go back, change it to a 1, and if it makes it a little bit clearer, okay, let me hit the OK button. Then it might make it a little bit clearer for you to see the crossovers here or something like that. Let me go ahead and change it back. Edit studies, don't want to mess that up. Would not be good, would it? All right, and I'm going to go back and make it nice and fat. Okay, so neat things to play, very easy. You, again, hit Save Steady Set, name it whatever you want after you get all of this built with your moving averages, your DMI, and your RSI, and then it's in there. It's locked and loaded. You see underneath Steady. So if anything happens or messes it up or whatever, you just never know what might come down the pike. You can easily go back, recreate it, hit save, but you haven't lost it. So again, if you switch it and get off to something else and not sure what you did, go back to Load Steady Set, select your win-win, and it'll be there waiting for you. Okay, there's one with volume. I have three or four different types of ones in here. Here's the win-win investing. Ooh, that makes volume really big. I'd like it like that. There we go, makes it a little easier. So hopefully this has been helpful. We, again, have discussed how to go in and add your top 100, actually it was top 121 ETFs, whether you want to customize it and have it as one entire list, or you can go and make it a bunch of lists and have them available. And then underneath your personal, it would then be listed, your top 100, your broad market, if you wanted to do something like that. That's how you go in and select the differences, right? So here's like a Tom account, for example, and really super simple. And then the other thing is making sure you know that once you set up those studies, you don't have to do it every time you enter in or every time you log in. It's there for you. Go to Load Study Set in case you switch or do something else, and it'll be there waiting for you to change. And then you can easily change to your personal list. Here's our win-win top 100s, and start your scan. Look how easy that is, how fast, okay? So for example, no, don't care, I'm looking at the blue over the red on the top chart. No, no, oh, wait a minute, that's of interest. Oh, green's about to cross over. Maybe I put DBEF on my list to say, hey, if when the green crosses over, it looks like it's pretty close. Okay, is that a candidate? No, it's really coming down and turning red. Blue's over red, about to cross over. There you go. Diamonds might be about to trigger another buy for you if you weren't already in it. This one has the red on top. No. This one, the green is crossing over today. Wow, that's a fresh green on the Japanese Hedged Equity Fund, the DXJ. But you can see how easy it is. This does not take you hours upon hours to get through that list. You can write down the symbol and move on to the next one on the list and write it down, and then go back and revisit the ones that are on your list. So if we said we were interested in possibly diamond, we can just come back and click on it. We can come back and click on the Japanese one that we were looking at, the hedged one, and narrow it down and pick which one we might trade or participate in. Awesome. Thanks again for joining us. Take care.